Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off the late pick 5 at Monmouth on Haskell Saturday with race number 10, the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup. 3-year-olds and up going 9 furlongs on the main track. You can play this pick 5 wager with a new DRF Bets account. Learn how to access $150 in risk-free wagers. Let's meet the field for this year's edition of the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup. Todd Pletcher has 2 in here, Mike. We'll start with the class-dropping number 3, Coal Front. Multiple graded stakes winner. Last time out, kind of thrown to the wolves by Todd in the Met Mile. I liked him that day. I liked the fact that he had the rail on a day where the rail was great. He went to the front, he secured the rail, and he was just no match for those horses. But this is some class relief, and maybe he'll get to the front here.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be very tough in this race. I hear what you're saying about, the rail was strong on Belmont Day. He had the inside, and he used his speed down there. I get all that. That was still a pretty tough spot, though. I mean, even with the inside, they went fast early. He had Matoli breathing down his neck in there. I'm not going to hold that race against him, Dan. I feel like after going through this race a couple of times, I'm not as big a fan of his as you are. I just think he's better than these horses.
And as time form US believes he's going to make the lead. And the number 5 in here is not Matoli, the horse sitting in second. That is Moongate Warrior, who might be pressing Coal Front in the early portion of this race. And no disrespect to Moongate Warrior, who's won 14 at 46. And look at the year he had last year, 9 for 17, perfect lifetime at Monmouth. He is a really nice horse that chasing Coal Front, though, might not be an ideal trip.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very cool horse. He's in over his head in this race.
Val Harbor is the other Todd Pletcher horse in this race. Boy, he had a miserable trip in the Salvatore Mile 2 starts back. He was off about 3 lengths slow. It looked like the outrider was going to pick him up and take him home after the first 70 yards. Then he was last on the rail. Then he came 5 wide into the stretch on a day where the rail was good, and he just couldn't get by the 2 chalks who were able to save ground throughout. It was a good effort. I was expecting a little more in the Illman. What happened?
I mean, I don't know that anything happened, really. I feel like he ran his race in the Illman, and he just wasn't quite good enough for those horses. I thought he ran fine, Dan. He is what he is. If things really break his way in this spot, maybe he can win. He can certainly be there in second or third at the end. It's just going to be hard for him to beat a stablemate in here.
Is Monongahela a new horse? We were used to the Monongahela that would run second in the Excelsior, second in the Campbell, second in the Queens County, second in the Swatara, third in the Buddy Delp, third in the Robolino, second in the Hanford. I mean, you get where we're going here with Monongahela. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, until last time where he actually showed a little bit more speed out of the gate, put the pace setter away, turning into the stretch, and then just drop the hammer en route to a 102 buyer. If he runs that race again, he's probably going to be real tough in here. I'm just not sure if I can completely trust him. I got to see it again.
Yeah, I'm not going to trust him yet either. Although, it did feel like getting more forward last time was the key to his success there. He was a very easy winner of that race. Getting forward in a race where Diamond King is cutting the pace and getting forward in a race where Coal Front's cutting the pace are probably 2 different things. But this horse did run legitimately well last time.
Zanotti's last win came at 1 1/8, but it was over a sloppy track in the 2017 edition of the Queens County. Like Monongahela, he picks up lots of checks, 16 of 24 in the exacta in his career, and I like him stretching out to this 1 1/8 distance. It's just that I don't think he's done much off the layoff. I realized the first race was likely just a prep. He is not a 6 furlong horse at all, and they just threw him out there to get his lungs open. But last time out in the Illman, he just kind of walked around the track one-paced.
Yeah, I wanted to see more from him last time too, but now he's third off the left. Maybe he'll get his best effort here, and his best effort is going to give him a chance at a pretty big piece of this race. I think he's the kind of horse I would be willing to use underneath at a price.
We know if War Story, the number 6, brings his best race, he can easily win this. He once won 112 in the Breeders' Cup Classic a couple of years ago when finishing 4th. I just wonder if Father Time's not being kind to War Story right now. He was well beaten in the Breeders' Cup Marathon at 5-1. Then in the Charlestown Classic, he ran okay. I think we thought he'd run a little bit better. And then last time in the Brooklyn, he just got beat 100 lengths, and that's fine because he was nowhere near the rail.
Yeah, he had a lot of things working against him last time. I wouldn't be too hard on him for the Brooklyn. I thought his Charlestown Classic was okay. So maybe you just want to put a line through the last one and expect him to build off the Charlestown Classic. And if he does that, he's got races that would put him right there against this field.
Let's take a look at our top selections for this year's edition of the Monmouth Cup. You just think Coal Front's the best horse. You think he's probably going to get the best trip on the lead, and he's going to get some class relief. But I'm interested in your thoughts on the number 2. Lemonade Thursday. And if you're backing Lemonade Thursday on Saturday, you're basically banking on the fact that He's just turned the corner, and that last buyer speed figure is legit, because that last buyer speed figure of 99 over this course, far and away the best race this horse ever ran. I like the way he did it. He was chasing a horse early. There just wasn't a lot of running behind him. It was a very, very weak field. I think he can sit close to the pace in here, and his dirt races, save one, which preceded a long layoff, were all good. So maybe Arnaud Delacour is getting this one right, and he's bred to handle the extra distance.
Yeah, I agree with all those things. You know, it's funny because that last race, you're right that there was no closing going on in that race, which was strange because the pace looked pretty fast to me. I mean, both he and the runner-up, they were out there moving right along. This horse was pretty impressive winning that race, even though nobody was running behind him. I don't know if he can do it again, Dan. They're stepping way up in class here against a horse who has a lot of speed and cold front. So it's a different scenario for him. But I think you're right. I think he's a dirt horse, and he's just starting to find himself right now.
I'd like to give him a shot at around 5 or 6 to 1. I'm going to go 2, 4, 3, and 7. You're going with cold front, wire to window. Give me numbers.
Yeah, I went 3, 4, and 2 in this race. I just didn't really want to bet against cold front. I think they found a real good spot for him here.
Grade 3 Monmouth Cup kicks off the late pick 5 on Haskell Saturday. Get involved with a DRF Bets account and the $150 in risk-free wagers that come along with it. Approximate post time for the Monmouth Cup, 4:31 Eastern. Best of luck.